Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, and look what we have here in the north of the map, playing in the color blue as the Aztecs. It's Kinesi, which I cannot remember the last time we featured Kinesi on the channel. And of course, he's playing Aztecs. That really has become the civ that identifies him. Because I'm old, I remember the day when Kinesi was known for his Japan walling and his Portuguese water, but it is that time no longer. Not even a water map, though. I think he still likes his water play. Oh my god, picking up 70 XP in a monkey massacre. And oh my god, look at the corpses fade away. That was brutal. But 70 XP is 70 XP. And his opponent playing in the south of the map in the color red as the Russians is Risi, who is a player I'm not familiar with. Super high level, so I'm gonna guess is good. Don't know if it's a Smurf or not, but man, Russia versus Aztec. That is a matchup. We've talked about it before. And I honestly, they're similar in a lot of ways, right? They both are good at early aggression, and they do have a nice upscale in the late game. I would argue both of them do. But, I feel like Aztec just does everything better than Russia. I can't really think of a thing that Russia inherently does better. Maybe, I don't know, artillery? I was going to say blockhouses, but I mean, the Aztec war hut also serves a similar role as the blockhouse. And now the hyenas are the victims of Quetzalcoatl? I don't know. But this guy's got 500 HP, 6-hand attack, and he's got the Eagle Scout. Man, that guy just chews through Guardians, and now he's picking up 30%. Oh my gosh. That is insane. What a great treasure for Risi that is. Or excuse me, Kinesi, Risi. Oh, we're going to have trouble keeping it straight. But both players just scouting around the map. Of course, Aztec getting that slightly better scouting pattern because of the extra scout. First shipment coming in, what's it going to be? We got 3 villagers on the way. And ooh, the High Priest. We could see some early Explorer rush. Other than that, it's pretty standard. Let's take a look at Risi's deck. His first shipment is in Distributism and also a pretty standard Russia deck. Very Age 3 heavy and not as much in Age 2. He doesn't have 700 food, for example. He does not have 4 Cossack. So I doubt we're going to be seeing anything aggressive from Russia in the second age, which I think is smart. I think if you're Russia, you cannot out military Aztec in Age 2. I have not seen it in recent times. It just feels like Aztec is just going to mass so much better than you, and their units are better than yours, and they have the perfect counter to everything. Their coyotes are going to eat up your ruskets, and they're going to eat up your strelets. And I mean, Puma Spearmen are just going to put Cossacks in the dumpster. And look at that, going up with the Messenger. So a very fast age up for Kinesi, almost going to be at the 3-minute 30 mark. He's got a shipment saved up, ready to go. No TPs for either player, though the options are available. And I think the natives on this map are not great. I mean, Sudanese, I don't know. I mean, the Red Sea. No, what am I thinking? Yeah, that's the Sudanese, right? The Red Sea trade? Yeah, I mean, that is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. But we probably won't be seeing any native play out of either of these civs. And we're seeing 3 warrior priests, so nothing super out of the ordinary for Kinesi. We're just getting that warrior priest boom going, and it can be very, very effective. Probably going to pair this into a transition into Age 3, maybe follow up with 5 villager 600 coin or 5 villager 700 wood 600 coin. Let's see, going with 700 wood. Okay, so gonna get some infrastructure down. Does not have a military building. Oh, but out come the Jaguar Prowler Knights. And these guys, they are quite ridiculous. They have great hand attack and pretty good siege attack as well, 36 siege. However, they are heavy infantry, so, I mean, as long as you keep your villagers at a healthy distance, you can kill these guys with TC fire. And look at that micro by Kinesi, putting these guys in cover mode so that they can eat up more TC fire, but is finally going to lose one. And so, I mean, good pressure did keep Risi belled up for some time, and it looks like Risi sent the 700 wood, and he still has his quartermaster wood on the floor. So he has been delayed in his build significantly, but not enough to really worry me with Russia yet. Still getting his steel traps, still queuing up 3 villagers. So Russia in a decent spot, though very behind in score. You do have to take that into account. Russia's always going to be at a score deficit. Especially in the early game, just with the way their Civ works. So, I mean, being behind by 1,600 score, not a huge deal at this point in the game. But look at that, Kinesi. How many warrior priests are we at? He's at 7 warrior priests already and 19 vills. Meanwhile, only 17 vills for Risi, though he does have distributism and going for a very defensive blockhouse. I will say, herding has been pretty good. He's got one more herd getting in here, and he's got another herd here that, with just a couple of shots, he could get in. So he's handling this pressure well, but now the trade post is going down for Kinesi, and it looks like he's going to be getting the Berbers and a trading post as well. So both just trying kind of getting some infrastructure down, though Kinesi's is going to pay off in the short term much better because he's going to be getting techs, he's going to be getting XP, and meanwhile, these blockhouses are just preparing for the push that I guess Risi is thinking is coming, but it doesn't strike me that Kinesi is going for anything aggressive beyond the Jaguar Prowler Knights, getting the Berber Nomad villagers. Yeah, he's just continuing to bolster his economy, getting up a very defensive warhood of his own, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kinesi just goes full boom here. I mean, look at that. 3 warrior priests, 700 wood, and now 5 villagers. And yes, these Prowler Knights are still harassing. They're trying to take out villagers. They're trying to disrupt the herding. But now with 2 blockhouses and a TC, even these guys, even in cover mode, they're going to have trouble trying to get much done. Though, if they stick around the peripheries, they will make herding quite annoying. But man, Risi has done a really nice job getting another herd of Gazelle in here. And he's going to need that food later on in the game because it looks like this is going to be an Age 3 showdown. But now look at this, 28 villagers for Kinesi and still only 23 for Risi. Though he did get a trading post. And he doesn't really have a lot to defend that. So if the Prowler Knights decide to sit on that, they could do some work. 10 Strelic coming out now. So that trading post will be okay as long as these Prowler Knights cannot get in close. I wonder, would 3 Prowler Knights getting up close right away, would they beat 10 Strelits? No, I don't think so. It would be an interesting fight though. Risi going up to Age 3, and he has a shipment already in the bank. What's this card? Ransack. Infantry attack versus buildings. Okay, so I've never seen that card. Every infantry gets plus 50% siege attack? Is that for Suvorov reforms? Oh my god, is he going to mass Strelits, get Suvorov, reforms, and then send Ransack and just destroy Kinesi's base? There's no way that's a real build, is it? I don't know. Maybe my prediction just doesn't make sense at all. But it looks like Ivan Chichigov is going to be safe. And Kinesi also getting up to Age 3, sending the, looks like the next council member. Oh, okay, so he's going for the fast age up. I never know with the native varieties. I mean, a lot of their cards are similar to European cards. I just don't recognize them as instantly because I am a bit of a Eurocentric guy when it comes to Age of Empires 3, even though I'm American. All right. I mean, Americans are just kind of like aggressive Europeans, right? That's where we come from. 9 slingers coming out, and the Age 3 is going to start picking up in speed, going up with the Elder, and now mass Strelits on the field. Slingers are going to be a decent counter, though there are better counters for Aztec, like, oh, the 10 Coyote Runners could be absolutely disgusting. And let's see what Risi goes for, just massing Strelits. So this really has me tempted to say that something with Suvorov is coming in. I mean, look at that. He's got 2 shipments ready to go, and he's making pure Strelit. And look, he aged up with the 17 Strelits as well. This guy, oh God, he's got to be going Suvorov, right? There's no way. There's no way you mass up 57 Strelits by 9 minutes and make nothing else unless you're going for Suvorov. But I mean, look at that. 2 noble huts coming down. And so he's going to need that siege attack for sure, because these buildings can output a lot of damage. Though, veteran Ruskets with Suvorov, I mean, they'll do pretty well against anything that Kinesi will probably make in Age 3. Now, if he masses Coyotes, veteran Ruskets will do okay against those, as long as they're not in mass. And I mean, against Prowler Knights, as long as they don't get super up close, he'll be okay with that as well. Looks like he did get the Red Sea Wagon out. So did research that technology, and now he's going for Falconets which, man, if you've ever seen an army more susceptible to anti-cav, this might be it. 57 Strelet and 2 cannons. 26 vills for Risi, 44, oh my god, 44 villagers for Kinesi. Good lord, his economy is taking off. And now he's sending agrarian ways, which is going to make all his marketech free? Or no, does it make the marketechs or the mill techs free? Oh, it makes all of the farm and estate techs free. Why is he getting a farm and estate down with his 2 Red Sea wagons? Is he planning to go that far into the late game? I've never seen someone prep for the late game with a farm and estate at the 10-minute mark. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hunts still. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coin mines that are not directly in Risi's base. Hey man, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? Double Strelet still coming out, and he's not even getting veteran Strelet as a tech. Oh boy, I cannot wait. I love Suvorov, and this is okay. Now I'm 100% certain. There it is, called it. Now what does he got here? He's got 93 Strelets. He's going to have 93, probably veteran Ruskets. And if this gets out, if these 20 get out before the card comes, that's going to be 113 veteran Ruskets at 12 minutes with 2 Falconets. Oh my god, this build is awesome. But is it going to be enough? What does Kinesi have? He's got a lot of slingers, and these guys are elite. So, I mean, he's building the unit that's going to work against these guys, but come on, I mean, can that many slingers take on this many Ruskets? And look at that, the upgrade is in, though Kinesi has now seen it. He does have a little bit of time to respond, but he's gonna lose these noble huts for sure. There's just not enough slingers here, surely. But Kinesi's gonna take it. He's got 34 slingers. And I mean, we have to remember these guys are still Ruskets. And now the Arrow Knights coming out, and they're gonna deal with the Falconets. What a perfect timing. And the 2 of the Arrow Knights going down, but also 1 Falconet going down as well. And these Ruskets just pushing these noble huts more than anything else because they know this is the only real anti-artillery that Kinesi has at the moment. And yes, the slingers are getting good trades, but there's just simply so many Ruskets here. They are flooding into the Aztec base. There's still 77 of them left. And I mean, half of them are, this is maybe a little bit of bad micro here from Risi. He's just got a bunch of them sieging the random trading post, which isn't really a good use of those Ruskets. But I mean, he's causing so much chaos here. And Kinesi, what is he doing to respond? He's got the 9 Jaguar Prowler Knights. Maybe he's gonna try to sneak those onto the Falconet. And now Risi also going with 5 Cossacks. And I wonder if he's going to back that up with maybe, okay, so he's sending New Order regiments. So he's going to continue buffing up these Ruskets. And these Cossacks are now veteran, and they're going to do nice against these Entente and Slingers. But the second Falconet going to go down to the Arrow Knights, which is maybe a bit of a waste from Risi. But I mean, he's gotten some good trades here. He's going to take out the Prowler Knights. Honestly, those Prowler Knights really weren't utilized super well there by Kinesi. They just kind of came out, killed a couple Ruskets, and died, which in the case of Russia, I mean, losing Ruskets is kind of their MO, right? Like, losing a couple of infantry units that are dirt cheap, that is not going to bother them. Warriors now coming out. They're going to try to run distraction, and I mean, Risi is pushing very far, and the Rusket mass, it is starting to disappear a little bit. He has killed 2 noble huts. He's killed a lot of Aztec units, but I mean, is this enough? Is this gonna break the back of Kinesi? Risi has 35 vills, Kinesi still has 51, and he's double producing Prowler Knights with 10 Coyote Runners. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be enough. I mean, these Ruskets being utilized very well. They're killing a lot of the Warrior Priests here, which is a really good catch. I mean, I'm not denying that, but I mean, these Slingers are doing a lot of work in the back. The Ruskets are finally running out, and now it's kind of, the Russian steam is really starting to dissipate here, right? I mean, the Ruskets are down to what? Down to 27 Ruskets. Though, I mean, he did train them as Strelly, so I mean, these guys were dirt cheap. And I mean, how many Jaguar Knights has he killed? These guys are not cheap. They're 120 resources. Definitely more than a Rust gets, so every trade you get is going to be good. And let's see here. I mean, he's killed a few Vils as well. He's killed a lot of warrior priests. But at the same time, I mean, Kinesi has 3 war huts up. He's got a noble hut up. And he's still got the mill in the estate. I don't know why he needs that. But now the Prowler Knights, we're seeing just how annoying they can be. I hate this unit because it feels like Aztec players, all they have to do is just spam this one unit, right? And even against their counter, they just clean up everything. God, I hate Prowler Knights, man. I hate Prowler Knights. I can't stand them. And now we're seeing Veteran Strelet come out, which I think is going to be the right call for Risi. And we're seeing more Veteran Cossack. Is that going to be the combination? I think so. I think investing in artillery at this point, you're just going to lose those to Arrow Knights. Arrow Knights are so quick, and they're so easy to use and kite that artillery that I don't think investing in Falconets is the play. I think you get out some Strelets. I think you move carefully, right? Your military micro has to be good here. You cannot let these batches just get caught by Prowler Knights and eviscerated because these guys will put Strelets to sleep like Ambien. And look at that, Cossacks even raiding in the corner. Oh, a juicy raid here. That's going to be 5 Aztec villagers that are going to be dead on the floor. And like I said, both of these civs have a nice kind of mid to late game power spike, and we're starting to see that. 44 Vils for Russia with market upgrades, and look at the amount of resources coming in, so much food coming in. And a couple Vils there killed. I like that he pulled the Cossacks back. I like that he didn't just throw them away, because those are going to be able to continuously come into this pocket and always be checking this coin mine and just annoying those villagers. And look at this, Risi taking a lot of map control as well. I mean, he's got the middle of the map centered, though he doesn't really have a lot to protect these Vils. I mean, look at how many Vils are sitting out here. So maybe if these Prowler Knights could do a little bit of sneaky raiding, it would be really good. But now we're seeing a mainly Strelet-based army and accompanied with some Cossacks. I think this could be a really good combo. And look at these Prowler Knights. Oh, man. They're just such a scary unit. Like, whenever I play Aztec, I am constantly on edge because I always know there could be a huge batch of Prowler Knights that will just insta-kill all of my units. And along with these Entente and Slingers putting damage in the back, they can be so, so deadly. And oh, are we going to see a pincer here from Kinesi? I thought he was going to bring these Slingers around, but I'm glad that he didn't, because, I mean, those Cossacks would just be able to isolate them. And now in come the Prowler Knights. Oh, no! It looks like, oh, okay, so they have leaped. They're in the melee combat. Now they're against pure Strelet. And look at those Strelet. They're fleeing for the hills. And this trading post is actually going to be really, really useful for Risi. Now, whether he planned that or not, I don't know. But look at that. He was able to save his Strelet mass. And now the plan has been unmasked. And now he sees the Prowler Knights. And yes, they're in cover mode, but at least they can't sneak up on him. And oh, that was a really good catch by Risi. That could have been absolutely disastrous, but now he's going to get good trades here, right? Veteran Strelet versus Veteran Slingers. It's a pretty even trade, but of course, the Strelets are at a much higher number right now. And we have to remember the entire time, you know, Kinesi is getting pushed further and further back into the map, and there's really not a lot of resources out here. He's trying to sneak some villagers out to this hunt, and meanwhile, Risi is gathering freely because every unit the Aztec player has to be used to defend the main pocket of his base, and we're seeing continuous double Strelet production, and he's even sending the Cav upgrade card as well, and he still has plenty of good cards to send. He could send Refrigeration, he could send Ransack, which might be good for the final push. He's got Sustainable Agriculture, Boyars. I mean, that would also be a good upgrade for his Cossacks, Economic Theory. So Russia is set up to have a decent game for the next, 10 to 15 minutes here. Meanwhile, Kinesi, I mean, he's also got some good cards, though not as many upgrades for his economy, it must be said. And I mean, some of these resource shipments, yes, they are infinite, but they're just not going to be as useful at this point. And another raid coming in, going to lose those Cossacks, and it looks like Kinesi also getting out some Eagle Runner Knights, but against the mass Strelets. What is he going to do to answer the mass Strelets? And you almost wonder, at what point is he going to start switching over to Coyotes? Is he just going to try to win in a Slinger versus Strelet war? Because I just don't know if that's going to be cost effective for Aztec. You know, that's what Russia wants, right? Russia wants to take these super, super even trades because cost-wise, it's not even. They're winning hands down. And now with all these upgrades and even 3 falconets coming out, okay, this is going to be big. If Reese can defend these 3 falconets, he could get a lot of work done. If he just instantly loses them to an infantry push, that could be what Kinesi needs. I mean, because look at that. That's 1,500 resources there. And look at how far they're pushing out. Oh, my God. Oh, man. If they had gone without support and just died, I would have cried. I would have cried. Now, I can't say that I'm pushing for Reese here. I feel like maybe I'm showing a little favoritism, but I don't know. Like, come on. It's Russia versus Aztec. Do you not want to root for Russia just like a little bit? I don't know. But now the Prowler Knight's going to get discovered, and they're just falling right into the infantry pile. But honestly, there's enough Strelet now that, I mean, that number of Prowler Knights is not that scary. And look at that. Look at the massive slingers. Oh, these falconets are going to have a field day. Maybe not aiming at the best target, but these falconets trying to get involved. Eagle Runner Knights are not going to be able to do much here against this many Strelet. And again, he needs coyotes. He needs something to just get in there and tank damage, but he's pentaqueuing slingers. I mean, slingers are cheap, and I mean, they're going to trade decently, but it just feels like you're fighting the battle that Russia wants here. This is what they want to do. They want to trade like this. Eagle Runner Knight's going to try to come around and get on the falconets. And oh my gosh, these guys take so many shots to kill. 180 HP. More Caustics coming in. More Ruskets coming in. Oh, and even a Blockhouse coming down. What a smart move there by Reese. And the Arrow Knights. Oh, he popped Arrow Knights. He killed 2 of the falconets. But he also lost all of his Arrow Knights, and I mean, these guys are not cheap either. They're like 133 resources, and in the Strelet numbers, they're just not dying. Look at this by Reese. How many Strelets does he still have? He's still got 45 Strelets on the field and 1 Falconet. That is huge. So this army still has siege potential, and now with enough Cossacks on the field to bother these slingers, Kinesi's got to do something different. Look at how far into the map he's being pushed, and now he's actually got people on the farm and the estate, so it is proving useful at the 22-minute marks. It just took 12 minutes to pay off. And look at that, the Berber Nomads going down. Now 51 bills for Kinesi and 56 for Reese. This game is looking very, very healthy for Russia, but it's certainly not over yet. Aztec, you can never count them out. He's still got well, I guess the trading post isn't that big a deal. I was gonna say, well, he's got a trading post, but I mean, that's not gonna be the game winner that I thought it was when I first reacted to it. And what could he send? I mean, he's got 9 hit points. That would be good since he has been making some Eagle Runner Knights. Grain Market would be good. Coyote would be good. He could ship that and then mass coyotes, which would do pretty well. I don't know. There's a decent enough amount of Ruskets here that maybe going pure coyote wouldn't work like I think it would. And yeah, this is a really nice composition from Russia. 1 Falconet still alive, even if it dies here. I mean, if this Falconet kills this Noble Hut and then dies, I feel like that's going to be a really even trade. The Falconet's going to get its worth. But these Slingers actually trading really well with the Strelets. They are better, and these guys have been upgraded. Oh, man. And Reese, look at how much walking he's doing right now. He's maybe not taking the most effective fight possible. Cossack's going to come in and just try to tank some damage. Is there any anti-cav here for Kinesi? Not really. Arrow Knight's coming out. They're going to kill the 1 Falconet, but besides that, I mean, they're going to go down very, very quickly. And Eagle Runner Knights are coming out. This is a bit risky, I won't lie. A bit risky by Reese. He's pushed very deep in, and he's going to lose his Strelet mass here. And now it's going to be pure Slinger versus pure Rusket, and I don't know, was that careless? Was that way too careless by Reese? I know Russian units are made to be expendable, but I just don't see what he got there. I mean, he did kill a Noble Hut, which is going to go back up almost immediately, because the one thing Kinesi has plenty of is wood at this point. But I mean, look at that. Reese already getting out 30 additional, oh my God, 30 Strelets and 4 more Falconets. And man, how many Falconets has he lost this game? I think 5? 2 of them were a card, but still, that's 2,500 resources. And I wonder if the investment in Falconets is the right play. It seems to be, because you got to crack this shell somehow, right? I mean, Kinesi now has a second town center. He's got so many military buildings. I'm actually surprised. Has he sent? Okay, so he has sent the Ransack card. So what does that do to your Ruskets? Man, a recruit with a 32 siege attack? That's actually kind of insane. I mean, Strelets now have 16 siege. Strelets now have the siege of a musketeer, basically. I don't know how to feel about that. And now sending economic theory. So yeah, I mean, Russia's just continuing to pile on. And yes, most of the food has been taken, but he still has access to these gold mines, which is going to be very, very important. And I don't know. I mean, Kinesi's got to break this contain at some point. Strelets coming out. Gonna run away from this explorer who is very tanky. I mean, 1400 HP. Look at that. An upgrade that gives you 900 HP. Oh, ridiculous. Now 5 Falconets coming out. And are there any Arrow Knights at the moment? There are not. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of a lull here where these Falconets can get a lot of work done before the Arrow Knights are going to be able to come and try to match them. But, I mean, even if you get out Arrow Knights, how fast can Arrow Knights kill 5 Falconets? So we'll have to see. I definitely want to see Risi protect these guys more than he has his previous Falconets. And let's see. Kinesi. Yeah, I mean, Arrow Knights immediately being slammed down, but look at the resource bank here, ladies and gentlemen. The resources for Kinesi, they're not great. He's not really pulling in much. He's so low on food. He's having to put up more farms, which is cutting into his wood. And, I mean, what can he send? Yeah, I mean, he's sending grain market, but he needs units. Where are the Arrow Knights? There they are in the back. But as long as Risi continues to block with his infantry, he might be able to protect his Falconets. Falconets have, let's see, they have 26 range. Arrow Knights have 30. So yeah, 1 Falconet going down. He's got to see these guys. Come on, Risi, point them out. There you go. Okay, so he's targeting with his Strelets. 1 Falconet going down, but 4 still remaining. And look at this. The Slingers are just getting massed up and obliterated. Oh my God, look at the +7s. Oh, +7, go to heaven. 2 more Falconets going down, but honestly, with how many Slingers they've killed, and it's gonna be impossible for Kinesi to remass this, and now Cossacks coming in, and these guys are gonna absolutely clean up whatever is left of the Slingers, and he even sent Boyars. These Cossacks, they have been upgraded to a great degree. 304 HP on a 1-pop cav. That is absolutely astounding. 1 Falconet still alive, though it is going to die, but I don't know, man. I think the back of Kinesi has finally been broken because, yeah, he knows it. He knows it, too. Because, I mean, as soon as Risi gets into this back part of the economy, food production shuts down. And, I mean, he's still got 80 villagers. He had 80 villagers by the end of this game, by the 27-minute mark. I mean, he did have 2 TCs. That's 6 villagers. And I don't know how long it takes. How long does it take for a Russian batch? Is it like 60 seconds? 6 villagers every 60 seconds or so. Oh, man, that's insane. And there's just no resources for Kinesi, right? Look at that. What is he going to do? Going to rely on his 2 farms and his estate? No. But, I mean, a really good game. That was going back and forth. I did not expect Russia to do as well as they did, but I don't know if maybe it was just a mistaken composition there by Kinesi. I don't know if it was that early Suvorov push that kind of threw him on the back foot, and he was able to deal with it, right? Like, all props to Kinesi there, holding off 93 veteran recruits and 2 Falconets at like what? Well, I mean, we'll have to look at what the, well, you know what? Enough of that. Guys, follow me to the postgame. All right, so here we are in the postgame, and I no longer have to speculate on stats that I could easily just access. But man, look at those resources, guys. Just less than 1,000 resource difference. So 2 very strong economies and 2 very strong militaries. Only in an Aztec versus Russia game where they're just spamming expendable light infantry do you see this. 374 to 394. And I mean, when you're losing more units than the Russia player, that's when you know you have a big problem. And let's first look at the Vil count. Actually, both players protected Vils fairly well, but I mean, look at this. Wow, this is rare. This is rare in a high-level game of AOE3. Risi did not lose a single villager the entire time. I'm looking for the dip. Did not happen. Like, just pure up, no down. Meanwhile, Kinesi, he didn't lose many Vils, but I mean, he lost 1 here. How many did he lose here? Ooh, he lost like 6 here. 3 more there. Yeah, so I mean, you can just look at the Vil graph and it kind of tells the tale of the tape. And when we look at the military, well, let's go to population actually. Look at that. Look at the spike. He's at 57, jumps up to 127. And yeah, that was around the 13-minute mark that the Suvorov came on. And I got to give it to Kanisi, man. I know he lost, but I mean, he was at around 40-ish units and he held off 127 unit pop. And he proceeded to go for another like 13 minutes. And that was a close game. I mean, that final fight, it could have gone either way if the Arrow Knights had been able to take out all 5 Falconets and those Falconets had not just been able to wail on the Slingers. It might have been different, but even then, I don't really see Kanisi ever breaking the contain that Reese was able to get on his base, but really, really enjoyed that game. I love watching Kanisi as always, even when he doesn't win, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day, have a great life. See you later.